But so far, let's be very clear, Zulfikar, nothing has been recovered even from Riya Chakrabarti. She was not found in possession of any drugs, neither has Deepika or any of the actors as far as we know. In that sense, doesn't the NDPS Act demand that you have to be seen, that possession has to be proven?
Exactly. Exactly. That is why I'm telling you that it will all be a test of trial, because at this point of time it is merely a WhatsApp message. You see, then it has to follow up with the actual act. There has to be recovery. There has to be and even after there is recovery of that particular contraband, Rajdeep, I must tell you that it then has to be sent to the forensic to ascertain whether that contraband is actually that particular contraband or it's a mixture of what. And based on the result derived from that forensic is when the charges will be framed.
Very interesting, Aryama Sundaram, because in none of these cases so far has any contraband been found on any of these stars. These stars are being summoned one by one by the NCB. It appears that the campaign therefore is name and shame, guilt by accusation, because the act is very clear. You will have to show some element of consumption, evidence of consumption that, as you said, goes beyond WhatsApp chats.
In fact, Rajdeep, that's why I said I'm slightly more charitable than you are being to the NCB. I'm being more charitable because if all that the NCB was doing is to find out whether there is any chance of proving that these people consumed when nothing was found in their possession based on a WhatsApp chat, it sounds to me fairly absurd and a waste of great public money on a body like the NCB. If this is what the NCB is doing, I'm very sorry as a taxpayer that some of my money is going to them. But the fact is, I'm more charitable than you. I believe that that this WhatsApp chats have shown that these are people who could likely know the persons who have these drugs, who are supplying drugs, and thereby start investigation into where these drugs are coming from, who are the real traffickers, who are the real peddlers, who are the real suppliers, who are the real importers, who are the real smugglers.
So Aryama Sundaram, are they accused of witnesses?
I think right now they are nothing more than witnesses. According to me, at this stage, they are definitely not accused. They are definitely not accused at this stage. They are people who are being called upon in an inquiry, which inquiry I believe is much larger than just a question of calling these people and trying to find out whether they consumed or did not consume. I mean, and that too 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, for me, that's an absurdity. It's an absolute absurdity to call people, investigate whether 3 years ago they consumed drugs. Did you not answer this? Did you have drugs or not? I mean, that's an absurd investigation. And I refuse to believe that is what all this time is being wasted for. I believe it's more, and I should think that if the NCB is serious about its work, their aim is to find out from these people, to inquire with these people, what are the sources, where is it coming from, who's actually bringing in these drugs, how is it made readily available, what are the quantities, where have you heard about it, do you have any news on this, can you help us to let us know whether who are the people who are actually known to be peddling in drugs, and then summon those people and start investigating with them. If that was not the case, then I really don't understand what is going on.
Well, what is going on, according to some, is that this is simply a smoke and mirrors game which is being played by the NCB. I know that you're being more charitable than I am.
If that's all they're doing, it is smoke and mirror.
As journalists, we are trained to be questioning of those in authority, including the NCB. But Rizwan Merchant, the consumption angle. As of now, none of these individuals seem to be involved in drug peddling or trafficking, though interestingly in Riya Chakrabarti's case, and the judge asked this in the Bombay High Court, why have you put 27A? He asked this today. Why are you suggesting that she's financing or in any way involved in trafficking? Your sense, is this consumption and therefore at best a bailable offense? In all these cases.
Rajdeep, look, if you see the NDPS Act very carefully, Section 42 speaks of receipt of information by an officer of NCB with regard to the commission of an offence under NDPS Act or possibility of commission of an NDPS Act. So this WhatsApp chat at best can be stretched to mean that it is an information which is available with the NCB officers for the purpose of investigation. The moment you embark upon that information for investigation, unless and until you don't get in your hand any particular substance which is concluded by you from your field testing kit or from your forensic examination as a narcotic substance or a psychotropic substance, you cannot even register a case under the NDPS
No,
Act.
so as of now, Deepika is a
small
witness and not
quantity
an
as per
accused.
whatever chart is available.
No, are you clear that Deepika, therefore, at the moment,
At this
best,
particular
is a
stage,
witness?
if she has been summoned, if absolutely, because she has only been summoned, and if you see the format of the summons which is provided under the statute, it categorically says appear before me in person or through an authorized representative. But when the NCB issues the summon, they cancel that phrase or through the authorized representative and insist that the person should come there in person, so that they should ultimately succeed in getting the statement under section 67 and show it that yes, this is the corroborative evidence. Corroborative evidence can never be in the form of a statement under 67. Corroborative evidence always has to be in the form of actual seizure